Hi friends, this is Alvin here. Welcome to my networking channel. Hope all are doing good. And today the topic I'm going to discuss about how to configure VRRP for IP version 6. So in my previous video I shown you how to configure VRRP for IP version 4. So in this particular architecture, let us see how to configure VRRP for IP version 6. So as per the architecture, I connected two Fortigate firewall 1 and 2. So Fortigate firewall 1 and 2 to a non-manageable switch, and to the non-manageable switch I connected a PC. Okay. So this physical interface, instead of configuring the interface with the IP version 4, I am going to configure this interface with the IP version 6. This is colon 2 and this is colon 3, and this is the VIP IP 2001 colon 111 colon 1. So this will be the VIP IP, and okay, this PC IP will be 2001 colon 1111 colon 4. Okay, so this will be elected as a master. Always this will be elected as a master firewall 1, so which is having the highest priority. So always the default priority is 100, so we can set the priority from 1 to 255. So master, I am going to set the priority higher than the default, so this will be elected as a master. So initially the traffic will be forwarded to the master. Okay, so whenever the master goes on, automatically the backup will take over the active role. So that is the purpose of VRRP, or a gateway redundant protocol. So instead of IP version 4, I am going to configure the interface with the IP version 6. Then we'll be configuring the VRRP for IP version 6. So that's the only difference. Now let us go ahead and configure the each and every firewall with the physical interface IP version 6. Then we'll configure the VRRP. So let us go to the first firewall, that is Fortigate firewall 1, and let us configure. So config system interface edit port 1. Now I have to configure the IP version 6. So the command is config IP version 6. Then let us configure the address. Okay, IP6 address, set IP6 address, IP6 address 2001 colon 1111 colon 2 slash 64. Then let us allow the ping access for the address. So IP6 allow access is ping. Okay, so one more thing is pending. I have to define a link local address for this particular IP version 6. Okay, so how to define is set, this is for VRRP. Okay, so VR IP6 link local address, so let us set it as FE80. Okay, I assign the link local address. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to configure the VRRP for IP version 6. So the command is config VRRP 6. Instead of version 4, you have to configure as VRRP 6. Then let us set the identifier. I'm going to set the VRRP identifier as 10. Now under this, I'm going to configure the VIP IP and the priority for the master. Okay, so set VR IP6 2001 colon 1111 colon 1. So as per the architecture, this is the VIP IP, and let us set the priority as 200 and then the group number. So these are the only things I have to configure. So only instead of IP version 4, I am going to configure as IP version 6. That's the only difference. Since I am going to configure for IP version 6, here I have to define as config IP version 6, right? So now let us view the configuration. So system interface port 1. Okay, so what are things we have done is, under this config system interface edit port 1, then I directly configure the IP version 6 and the physical interface IP. Then I configure the VRRP for IP version 6. So these are the parameters we have defined. Similar way, let us jump to the second firewall and let us configure the interface with this IP version 6 address. Then the under VRRP, let us configure the VIP IP. Okay, so let us go to the second firewall and let us log in. So config system interface edit port 1. Then let us configure the IP version 6 address. So config IP version 6. Okay, then set the IP6 address as 2001 colon 1111 colon 3 slash 64. This is IP version 6 address for the backup interface IP. Okay, then let us allow the ping access. Then let us assign the link local address for the VRRP. This address FE80 colon. Okay, so now let us configure the VRRP. VRRP6, edit the create the identifier, VRRP identifier is 10. Now I'm going to set the link, this particular VRIP and the group number. Okay, so set VRIP6 address is same thing, last is digit is 1, then set VRGRP is 10. Okay, so we have done with the VRRP configuration for the master and the backup firewall. So show system interface port 1. Okay, so you're able to see here, this is the configuration we did. So now let us do a ping to the master and the backup, then also the VPIP. Okay, so what is the command does? Execute ping is for IP version 4, ping 66 for IP version 6. So let us configure the VPIP. I'm able to ping, and also let us configure the master and the backup also. I'm able to ping, and also let us check from the secondary or the backup. So execute ping 2001 colon 111 colon 1. Okay, it is ping 6. Okay, it should be ping 6. I am able to ping, and also the master and the backup router. As per the architecture, I am able to ping all these three interface IP, and let us also do a ping from PC1 to this master and the backup and the VIP IP. So let us go to PC. How to assign an IP version 6 addresses? Just do IP 2001 colon 1111 colon 4. So it is already automatically assigned. So now let us do show. So now from this particular PC, I'm going to ping this IP and this interface IP backup and also the VIP IP. Okay. So the command does just do ping. I'm able to ping. And what about the VIP IP? So VIP IP, let us see I'm able to ping or not. So now let us do a ping from the PC1 to the master and the backup router. Okay, I'm able to ping the VIP IP. Let us ping the primary, that is 2. And also the master I'm able to ping, and what about the backup? So the backup also I'm able to reach, and also let us do a ping from this master and the backup to the PC IP is 2001 colon 111 colon 4. Okay, so let us go to master and do the ping. The command is execute ping 6 2001 colon 111 colon 4. So I'm able to reach the PC from the master, and also let us do from backup firewall also. So that also I'm able to reach. And how to test the preemption feature is, so by default the preemption is enabled for VRRP. So let us see how to test the preemption. Okay, so the command is go to primary firewall, config system interface, then you have to do config. Okay, so config and edit port 1. This is the hierarchy you have to follow. Edit port 1, config IP version 6, and config VRRP6, edit 10. That's the VRRP identifier. Then I am going to disable this VRRP status master. Automatically you can see here the backup will be converted into master. Okay, so this will be taken as a master because this goes down. So let us go to the primary, and I'm going to disable. How to do that? Set status disable. Okay, now let us save the configuration, and if you do get router info 6 VRRP is the command. For IP version 4 it is info VRRP, info 6 VRRP for IP version 6. Now you are not able to see anything. Now let us go to the backup. Okay, so previously it was selected as a backup. Now you can see it will be selected as a master. Okay, so get router info 6 VRRP. So now it is changed to master. So if you want to restore its role, so this is the purpose of preemption. Whenever the master goes down, this will take over the active role. And again, after some time, when the master comes up, automatically this will be restored as a master, and this will be restored as a backup. So that is the purpose of preemption feature. So now let us enable this. How to do that? Config system interface, edit port 1. Okay, then do config IP version 6 and edit the identifier. Okay, config IP version 6, then config VRRP6, edit 10, that's the VRRP identifier. Now let us enable it. Set status enable. So this will enable the status. Now you can see here, this will be elected as again master, and this will be elected as a backup. So by default the preemption is enabled for VRRP. Okay, get router info6 VRRP is a command. So this is elected as a master. Previously it is elected as a master. Now it will be changed into backup. So now you understand what is VRRP and how to configure the VRRP for IP version 6. Then also I have shown you how to enable the preemption, how to check the preemption feature. By default the preemption is enabled. So how to test the preemption in VRRP. Okay. So these are the things, and I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Thanks and have a wonderful day. Thank you.